Hi YouTube, it's Julie. I'm back from the dead. My surgery was May 6th. I'm still seeing little green lights, so I'm looking a little funny maybe. Or a lot funny. My surgery was May 6th. So I'm like 4 weeks out. This is gonna be my 1 month surgery video. Let's see, my experience was, I was having a lot of doubts before I went into surgery. On the liquid diet, I got down to, now I'm talking about my scale, not the doctor's scale, because the doctors and the hospitals all say I weigh about 10 pounds more than what I weigh in the morning before I've eaten or drinking anything and completely without clothing. So, there's about a 10-pound difference, but I'm just going to always go by my scale at home. So by my scale at home, I had gotten back down to 226, I think. Yeah, that's exactly right. I had gotten back up to I forget where I was exactly. I think I was like 236. So I had gained like 15, 16, 17, 18, like, I don't know. I had gained a lot of weight because I had gotten down to 218. I've told you before, I'm not good at math. Anyway, simple arithmetic. So like 18 pounds or something that I had gained while waiting for my bariatric surgery. I got down to 226 on my liquid diet, and I was like, you know, I really do feel comfortable in the 220s. That's where I was in high school. I'm 5'6½", so I'm still pretty big, and you know, the normal average thin person would look at me and really think I'm quite obese. But from my perspective, where I was at 330 something, 340 something, 225 feels pretty thin and comfortable for me. It's not skinny. It's always still going to be considered fat, but I've never been skinny, so that would feel uncomfortable. I probably talked way too long about all that, but here I am at 4 weeks out. I have lost 15 pounds, something like that. Yeah, 15 pounds. I'm 210, 16 pounds. And I'm pretty sure, in a few days, I'm going to be less than what I am now. Because, like, every day I'm losing a pound. Well, I'm averaging 4 pounds a week. And that's when I'm not going to the bathroom a lot, if you know what I mean. So anyway, for my experience, I was scared to go into bariatric surgery. I was really, really scared. And I've talked on here before about not having support, and I was so wrong and humbled because my pastor from my current fellowship that we're bringing together came, and my previous pastor came, and I just love both of those men. And a few ladies from my church came, and my dad came. My mom would have been there if she could, but she's still in the hospital. My brother stayed home and watched my kids, which was wonderful because I knew that they were being spoiled. He's a good uncle. And he came to visit me after my surgery. So I was all the way up until the point where they put me out. I was like, I don't know really if I should do this. My son's been throwing up. My daughter's been throwing up. I don't want to like have the stomach flu, because we've been fighting the stomach flu back and back. It keeps coming back. And I was like, if I have the stomach flu and I have this surgery, I'll die. Being melodramatic, but and I know that I had a sinus infection. I was like, they're going to put the tube down my nose and they're going to give me an infection and I'm going to die. And something's going to happen and I'm going to die. Or God's going to say, no, she's out of here because she's hopeless. I'm here, so obviously I didn't die. But they put me on the table and they had me put my arms out and they started putting the tubes in, and they didn't do like the counting backward thing or anything. They just, the lights went out. I wasn't even ready. I was like looking up at the ceiling. They were working on me. They weren't talking to me or anything. And the next thing you know, I was gone. And while I was out, I was just floating in the purple nebula. And I didn't want to come back when they were trying to wake me up. I heard their voices and they were, Julie, 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 Julie. And I could hear them. And I didn't want to come back. And I think they gave me a shot or something to make me come back, because like it was like forcibly boom, I came back, like boom. And then I was mad because I had to come back. I was enjoying floating. This sounds so insane. But then the pain was instant. I mean, the pain hit me like a ton of bricks. Not only was I mad because I was not in my purple nebula, I was also mad because, bam, lower left side alongside my navel, like I have one. You know, the big hole in my giant belly. On the right hand side, it was like I started trying to point to the I was pointing, I was like, right there. Because the pain was like, boom, and it was horrible pain. I mean, I've had a C-section. I've had an endometrial ablation surgery. I've had a gallbladder surgery. I've had, you know, some other minor procedures before I had a C-section. You'd think a C-section would be comparable. Guys, this was bad. It was really bad. Yeah. So, what happened next? I was mad. And I had heard some nurses while I was out and couldn't open my eyes, but I was just kind of floating, hearing their voices. I heard them talking about me, and they weren't talking very nice about me. So that made me mad too. So I came out, and I was PMSing also. So I came out of that surgery, pain, PMSing, mad, not floating my purple nebula, mad, 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 mad. So I was mad. And they had stupid tube in my nose. I conked out again. They're like, we're gonna just take you down to your room, because they're like, we don't want anything to do with you. They didn't want me in recovery. So, oh, I skipped a part. I started, I don't know if anybody else vomited blood, but I vomited a few times, and it was like blood. I thought that, I mean, the first time it seemed like there was a lot, but the rest of the times when I vomited, it was just like a little bit of blood. But the first time they put this giant tube that looked like a vacuum cleaner hose up to my face, and they're like, throw open this, and the nurse was not nice. She was kind of harsh and mean. I mean, she wasn't mean. She was just blunt, I guess. She's like, no, here's where you want to throw up. I was like, okay. So I'll throw up in the vacuum cleaner tube, which is probably like what it was. I don't know. But it's like this big, and they're putting it in my face, and I was like, oh, get that out of my face. I'm going to throw up. That's where they wanted me to throw up. Anyway. God bless y'all in healthcare, because I couldn't do that job. And then what happened? Yeah, and then when they took me to my recovery room, and I woke up again. I had the stupid tube, oxygen tube in my nose, and it hurt. That air was blowing in, and I knew I didn't need it. My lungs felt really good, and I knew I didn't need it, so I ripped that thing out first thing. And my husband's like, you gotta put that back in. I was like, ripped it off again. My dad was like, uh-oh. I don't get mad very often. When I do get mad, it's a big deal. I make a big deal. Anyway, I was mad. Not feeling very good either. So then I woke up and I was in the room, and my nurse was super sweet. She's a real big girl, so I think she kind of identified with me some. She's a lot bigger than me. And we talked about weight and stuff. So I wish her the best. I hope whatever she chooses to do, I don't think she's going to do bariatric surgery, but whatever she chooses to do, I hope she ends up living a healthy, happy lifestyle, because she's really sweet. But what else was I going to say? So that was my surgery. My husband was with the kids. He took a week off work, and he homeschooled them as best as he could. I showed the pictures on my last video of him in the room homeschooling the kids in the room. He'd bring them up about 1 o'clock every day after they had worked at home on some of their computer work. And then I think Luke was done because my son's special needs and he didn't have much to do anyway. So he was done by the time he came up to the room. So my kids just came up to the room. It was really nice having my kids there. And my brother, my husband brought my brother up to see me, and my brother was, he was worried sick about me, and he's just a sweetheart. And he's like, I love my sister, and gave me a big hug. I guess my other brother that I don't speak to, or that doesn't speak to me, I should say, was texting my husband. My husband and my brother are best friends, but my brother and I don't speak. It's a situation. So, but he was texting my husband to find out how I was doing. He never actually came to see me or called me or sent me an email or, you know, communicated with me specifically, personally, but he didn't want to have a guilty conscience if I died or something, I think. My dad said, this is stupid. Stupid. This is the stupidest thing you've ever done. But I'm not going to preach. I'm going to be supportive. Cindy said I have to be supportive. My mom's name is Cindy. So, that's my dad's vote of confidence. He's going to be try to be supportive. So that was pretty much the ins and outs of the drinking. Yeah, your stomach gets all swollen after you have the surgery. Obviously, tissue swells up. You don't think about the stuff before surgery, but after surgery it makes sense. Everything's swollen up real big, and even your throat's swollen up because they had the breathing tube in and stuff. So they give you this little thimble of liquid to drink, and they're like, okay, start off with 3 of these in an hour. And believe it or not, that's like impossible to do, or at least it was for me. 3 in an hour was not happening. I had to stay an extra day at the hospital because I couldn't get my liquids in. And the second day my nurse was nice. The third day I had this Jamaican lady. And she's like, why are you not drinking your water? Why are you not drinking it? And she's coming in there yelling at me in Jamaican. And so I wasn't liking that. And I had a nurse's aide that didn't want to empty my pee. And she was kind of attitude-y and whatever. So that was the cast of characters that I'll forever remember from my big experience. Let's see what else. So yeah, I had to stay an extra day. I think the only reason why they released me was because the insurance wasn't going to pay anymore, because I still was not getting in 3 ounces every hour when I left. Just barely 3 ounces every hour, I think. Now, however, I feel like I could drink a gallon and it wouldn't hurt me. And I did obviously I did there's different stages you go through. I went through the clear liquid stage, which sucks bad. And then the creamy liquid phase, or whatever they call it, the full liquid phase, is not quite as bad, but still bad. Real bad. If I never see cream of mushroom soup and cream of chicken soup again, I will be too soon. Actually, that's another story, but so, and then your next phase, you're on that for like 2 weeks, I think, and then your next phase is purees, and I lived on purees. I did okay because I loved refried beans with cheese and a little bit of Greek yogurt on top. And it tastes like a, you know, a Mexican-y. I'm a Mexican food lover, so I did that. And I ate that a lot, so I really got sick of that. And then I moved on to pureed tuna with different cheeses in it and different spices in it, different seasonings in it. There's only so many different ways you can make pureed tuna and pureed canned chicken. So those were my three staples, were the beans and the chicken and the tuna, and you get real sick of those real fast. So when I started the soft foods diet, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh, I can have creamy peanut butter once a day. So that leads us to where we are now. When I started eating the soft foods, I really got to be able to be more creative because you have so much more to work with. And my birthday was May 29th, and it's my 39th birthday. So I didn't want to feel like everybody's eating cake on my birthday and I got to sit there and, you know, eat cottage cheese. I hate cottage cheese. So what I did was I looked up a bunch of different, I looked up the ingredients that I can have, which was cream of wheat and oatmeal and milk and eggs and peanut butter. Get the drift. So I was looking up a recipe to make a bariatric cake that I could have on the soft food diet, and I did that. I made 3 different cakes. One of them was like the texture of a really, really moist banana bread, almost a little too moist. And I thought, well, I'm going to try this one again because it's almost a little rubbery moist, kind of, you know, it didn't really, I didn't know if that was going to work. And then the next one, I thought, well, I'm going to abandon that completely at first. And then I tried to make a sugar-free Jell-O cheesecake with a sugar-free graham cracker crust, which my husband wouldn't let me eat. And then when I did scoop out some of the pudding, it didn't taste anything like cheesecake. So that was a flop. And then the third one was a very dry cornbread textured cake that looked pretty. I iced it with a lot of Splenda in chocolate, sugar-free chocolate Jell-O pudding, and iced it with that, and then put a little strawberry on top as a decoration. It was so dry, I had to put milk in it like you do. I don't know, some people I like to eat cornbread in milk. So you could very easily do that with this cake because it was so thick and dry, and so I could only have this tiny little piece. But I am a carboholic. It's not really an actual term, but I'm addicted to carbs bad, and just the idea of being able to have something to smear my creamy peanut butter on, my little cake, has got me eating too much of that cake. I've got 2 cakes in the fridge and I can only eat 1 piece at a time. So today I had oatmeal this morning. I haven't had anything to drink today at all. And it's already like noon, and I probably need to stop and get something to drink, like here with a quickness. I almost had to go back to the hospital because I was dehydrated. Oh yeah, there's a lot more to tell. I think I'm gonna have to make another video. Probably over my 10 minutes already. But where was I? There was an off track because there are so many different veins of thought I was gonna go down. Cake. Yeah, I'm already starting to feel like, hey, you know what? I can eat like 5 ounces at a time, and if I wait half an hour, 45 minutes, I can eat another 5 ounces. And I've noticed that I could probably eat some things that aren't necessarily on my list, and it won't hurt me. I'm already starting to try to figure out how I can break rules, and that was one of the things that was scaring me before my surgery, because I know me, and I'm bad. So, yeah, I got some head hunger going on. Need to get it straight, or the surgery's gonna be for nothing, and my husband's gonna be mad, because I put him through hell. I almost had to go back to the ER too because I lifted my son out of the cart, and he's 60 pounds. I lifted my daughter out too. She's 40 pounds. You're not supposed to lift more than 10 pounds. It was second nature. I wasn't even thinking about it. It was on my birthday, and I was going to get the ingredients for the cake, and I lifted them out and pulled something in that lower right hand side, below my stitches. But there's something there that's just, I think it was a muscle from when I had my C-section, because I've had problems with that muscle having like a Charlie horse spasm reaction before. So when they cut that muscle, it was like, ooh, not good. So I went back to sleeping on my back with my knees around this great big blanket so that it doesn't hurt my back to sleep on my back. It's almost in a sitting up position that I sleep, and that's really uncomfortable, and cuts down on the ability for me to be my kids are about ready to break in the room. Hi Lydia, I'm making a video. You need to go out. Give me 5 minutes. Go out, Lydia, now. Bye. Go out. Go out. I made a 4-year-old cry. My bad, mommy. Okay, oh, and I've had a cold. Insult to injury. I've had a cold. Sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, and I pulled my muscle. All on my birthday. Not good, and nobody, I don't know, I'm not going to go on that, but, so, it's time for me to cut this off, because I made a 4-year-old cry. I got to go hug her and tell her I love her, and I'm sorry that I had her go out of the room, because she's outside my door whimpering. I think I'm going to make another video, because I have a lot more to talk about. I hope everybody else is doing well. Christy, thank you for watching my videos, and I've been watching yours and pulling for you. I have a new subscriber who's pre-op, and I'm pulling for you too. Hang in there. I hope my videos can help people the way other people's videos have helped me. It's good to get support from a community, because not a lot of people understand what, you know, what we go through. So I think I'm gonna sign out. Thanks, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.